Trump has another threat for Canada. This time he says he will decertify all Canadian-made aircraft in the U.S. and slap a 50% tariff on Canadian aircraft sold to the States.
Trump posted last night that he wants to decertify all Canadian-made aircraft, calling out Canadian manufacturer Bombardier by name. And Trump is also threatening a 50% tariff on all Canadian-made planes.
In the aerospace areas around Toronto, the steady sound of aircraft engines is part of everyday life. Inside large hangars and carefully controlled clean rooms, teams of engineers and technicians are working on a project that could quietly change how NATO countries monitor and defend their airspace. While many people outside the defense industry may not notice what is happening inside these facilities, the work taking place there carries major importance to the future of military aviation. This is not a concept aircraft shown at exhibitions or a mock-up designed to impress visitors for a few days. The aircraft being built and equipped here is already flying real missions. It has spent many hours in the air and has proven that there is another option for allied nations that want strong surveillance abilities without relying entirely on the United States for that capability. In the Toronto region alone, around 2,000 workers are directly involved in defense production related to the GlobalEye aircraft program. However, these jobs represent far more than simple employment numbers. The workforce includes highly trained avionics technicians who install complex wiring systems, machinists who shape extremely precise metal components, software engineers who develop mission programs, and system specialists who ensure radar equipment works smoothly with communication networks. Quality inspectors also play a vital role, carefully reviewing each aircraft before it is approved for operational use. Every shift inside these facilities contributes to a capability that NATO forces have depended on for decades. In the past, however, most of this type of technology came from one place, the United States. The aircraft currently being produced in Canada is designed to eventually replace older airborne early warning planes, such as the E-3 Sentry. For many years, that aircraft served as NATO's main flying radar command center and became a symbol of American leadership in this part of military aviation. For more than 70 years, the United States dominated the Western market for large airborne surveillance systems. The Boeing E-3 Sentry, which was built using the frame of a Boeing 707 airliner, formed the backbone of NATO's air command and control network. Meanwhile, the Northrop Grumman E-2 Hawkeye provided similar capabilities for aircraft carriers and naval forces. Because of this history, any allied nation that wanted advanced airborne surveillance usually had to purchase American equipment. Those purchases also meant accepting U.S. export rules and using American-made components. For decades, no European system offered the same range, level of integration, or long operational history as the American platforms. As a result, airborne surveillance remained one of the last areas where the United States held almost complete control in Western defense manufacturing. That situation is now starting to change with the arrival of GlobalEye. Instead of being built on a large passenger airliner like older surveillance aircraft, GlobalEye uses the Bombardier Global Express as its base platform. This long-range Canadian business jet has spent years transporting executives and government leaders across the world. Its proven design and reliability made it a strong candidate for conversion into a military surveillance platform. Bombardier manufactures the aircraft itself, while the advanced mission systems are designed and integrated by the Swedish defense company Saab. Radar technology and other important equipment come from several European suppliers, including companies in Switzerland and other parts of the continent. One important detail is that the aircraft does not rely heavily on American components. In today's political climate, that independence can be very important because export rules and government approvals can sometimes influence how military equipment is used or upgraded. At the heart of GlobalEye is an advanced radar system capable of detecting objects up to roughly 350 nautical miles away. This long range allows one aircraft to monitor huge sections of airspace at the same time. It can track aircraft in the sky, ships at sea, and even some movements on land. The system is able to follow hundreds of targets at once. It can also send real-time information to fighter jets, guide air defense systems, and coordinate complicated air operations that involve multiple types of forces. In practical terms, the aircraft makes every fighter jet in its network more effective. Pilots can only react to threats they know about, and a powerful radar platform greatly expands what they are able to see. Because GlobalEye can detect threats far beyond the limits of a fighter's onboard radar, it changes how air operations are planned. Commanders gain a much clearer picture of the battlefield, which improves both safety and efficiency during missions. When countries consider buying military equipment, proven performance matters a lot. GlobalEye is not just a design on paper. Sweden received 6 aircraft between 2018 and 2022 and integrated them into its national defense system. The United Arab Emirates also signed a contract in 2015 and began receiving aircraft in 2017. Those planes are now operating in the Middle East under real conditions. Because of these deployments, there's already real operational data available. Governments looking at future purchases can study reliability statistics, mission performance records, and flight hours. This helps reassure potential buyers that the aircraft performs as promised. Toronto's role in the program builds on a long history of business jet manufacturing. Bombardier already has experienced workers, certified production processes, and strong supplier relationships connected to the Global Express aircraft. This means the surveillance version can be produced without building an entirely new manufacturing system. The basic airframe is constructed first, just like a regular business jet. After that, it moves into specialized facilities where Saab installs radar equipment, advanced sensors, electronic systems, and mission software. Every part goes through detailed testing before the aircraft is delivered. The economic benefits of this work extend far beyond the 2,000 people directly employed in the program. Aerospace manufacturing has a strong ripple effect. Each direct job often supports several more positions in related industries, such as parts suppliers, transportation companies, machine shops, and engineering services. When these additional roles are counted, the GlobalEye program is estimated to support between 6,000 and 8,000 jobs across Ontario. This brings income to families, generates tax revenue for the province, and helps keep valuable technical skills within Canada instead of losing them to other countries. From a strategic point of view, the program also fits into NATO's broader modernization plans. Canada is involved in fighter aircraft production partnerships while also building surveillance aircraft in Toronto. Together, these projects create something close to a full air power package that includes both combat jets and airborne radar platforms. Countries planning to update their air forces may find this combination appealing. Instead of buying fighters from one supplier and surveillance aircraft from another, they could purchase both from the same industrial partnership. At the moment, NATO still operates around 30 E-3 surveillance planes based on designs introduced nearly 50 years ago. As these aircraft continue to age, maintenance becomes more expensive and replacement parts become harder to find. Experts believe that about 10 NATO countries decided to buy between 3 and 5 GlobalEye aircraft each. Total demand could reach between 30 and 50 planes, with each aircraft costing around $250 million. The total value of those contracts could reach many billions of dollars. Another competing option exists, the Boeing E-7 Wedgetail. This aircraft also offers strong capabilities and is already used by countries like Australia, South Korea, and Turkey. However, like other American systems, it falls under U.S. export rules and arms regulations. Countries buying the E-7 must accept that future upgrades, spare parts, or software changes could depend on political decisions in Washington. By contrast, the multinational design of GlobalEye gives buyers more control over how they maintain and improve the aircraft over time. As NATO countries plan to replace their aging surveillance fleets within the next decade, this decision will become increasingly urgent. Delaying replacement too long could create gaps in airborne monitoring capabilities. For many governments, the choice may come down to two main options: the American E-7 or the European-designed GlobalEye assembled in Canada. Beyond technical performance and cost, political independence and strategic flexibility will likely play an important role in that decision. Countries planning their future defense purchases understand that having clear information about the battlefield can decide a conflict before weapons are even used. In modern warfare, knowing where threats are and how they are moving gives commanders a huge advantage. That is why airborne surveillance aircraft are becoming more important for many nations. Inside aircraft facilities in Toronto, teams of engineers and technicians are working carefully to build and prepare these advanced aircraft. Workers run large bundles of wiring through the aircraft's body, making sure every system is connected correctly. Radar equipment is installed and adjusted so it can detect objects far away. Inside the cabin, mission control stations are fitted and tested so operators can track targets and communicate with other military units. Before any aircraft is allowed to fly, it goes through several ground inspections to confirm that all systems are working properly. Only after these tests are completed does the plane begin flight operations. Each aircraft delivered proves that a modern airborne warning system built outside the United States is not just an idea anymore. It is already active and being used. The benefits of producing the Global Eye aircraft go far beyond the current contracts. Every plane assembled in Toronto helps Canadian engineers gain valuable experience. They are learning how to combine powerful radar systems, secure communications, and command technology into a single aircraft built on a business jet platform. These skills can later be used for other military aircraft, such as aerial refueling planes, ocean patrol aircraft, or special transport missions. Over time, this knowledge allows Canada to move from simply buying equipment to helping design and build advanced defense systems. It also reduces dependence on foreign suppliers and strengthens the country's aerospace industry for the future. The Global Eye aircraft has already proven itself with early customers, and this experience is becoming important as NATO countries begin thinking seriously about replacing their aging surveillance fleets. Many of the current airborne early warning planes have been flying for decades. As these aircraft grow older, they become more expensive to maintain, and keeping them operational requires more time, money, and specialized parts. Because of this, several NATO members know they cannot delay their replacement plans for much longer. Public discussions in different NATO countries show that there is real interest in modern alternatives. Governments understand that reliable surveillance aircraft play a key role in air defense. These systems help military commanders see what is happening across huge areas of airspace, track possible threats, and guide fighter jets during missions. In Toronto, around 2,000 workers are directly involved in building and integrating these aircraft. Their work supports many more jobs across Ontario through suppliers, logistics companies, and technical service providers. When the wider economic impact is considered, thousands of people benefit from the program. Every aircraft that rolls out of the production line represents more than just another plane. It strengthens NATO's defense capabilities while also helping Canada build greater independence in the aerospace industry. Over time, Canada is becoming an increasingly important part of NATO's aviation network. What makes this shift interesting is that it has happened quietly. There have been no dramatic political campaigns or loud public announcements. Instead, progress has come through steady contracts, cooperation between companies, and careful engineering work. Aircraft are built, tested, and delivered one by one. With every new delivery, NATO members gain another option for airborne surveillance, reducing dependence on a single supplier. As more of these aircraft enter service, the balance within the alliance slowly begins to change. The technicians and engineers working in Toronto may not always appear in headlines, but their efforts have real global consequences. Each radar system they install and every mission console they configure helps create a new level of competition in a sector that was once dominated by only a few suppliers. Over time, aircraft deliveries and new contracts gradually reshape the influence different countries hold within NATO's defense industry. While this industrial progress continues, a separate but related discussion is taking place in Canada's capital, Ottawa. The debate centers on the future of Canada's fighter jet fleet. Prime Minister Mark Carney recently confirmed that the government will continue making payments connected to 14 additional F-35A Lightning II fighter jets. This decision keeps Canada involved in production schedule, even while the government reviews its long-term defense plans. The payments are for what are known as long lead components. These are specialized parts that must be ordered several years before the aircraft itself is assembled. By approving these payments now, Canada ensures that its place in production line remains secure. According to earlier reports, When these 14 aircraft are added to the 16 fighters already under contract, Canada now has about 30 jets in production pipeline. However, this does not mean the country is fully committed to the original plan of buying 88 aircraft. Instead, the government appears to be leaving room for adjustments in the future. By approving limited funding now, Canada avoids losing production slot while policymakers continue studying their options. The decision quickly became a topic of debate in Parliament. Some political leaders questioned whether continuing payments of the F-35 fits with earlier statements about increasing Canada's defense independence from the United States. Carney responded by explaining that these payments are a practical step meant to keep Canada's options open. According to him, the move does not represent a final decision about the entire fleet. Rather, it protects Canada's position in the program, while broader discussions continue. Funding for long lead components is common in major defense projects, especially in a program as complex as the F-35. The aircraft relies on an enormous international supply chain that includes companies from many countries. Key parts such as avionics, structural components, and engine systems must be ordered far in advance to avoid delays later in the production process. By staying involved at this stage, Canada maintains both influence and flexibility. The country can still review alternatives while keeping its place in the manufacturing timeline. One idea that has been discussed is the possibility of operating a mixed fleet of fighter aircraft. Under this concept, Canada could use both the F-35 and the Swedish-built Gripen fighter jet. Supporters of this plan say that combining aircraft types could lower costs and reduce reliance on a single supplier. They also believe it could strengthen Canada's domestic aerospace partnerships. However, critics argue that moving away from the original 88 jet plan could create complications. Operating multiple aircraft types might make coordination more difficult within NORAD and NATO, where shared systems and compatibility are extremely important. Some defense experts have even suggested specific numbers for such a mixed fleet. One proposal mentioned a force made up of around 44 F-35 fighters combined with 60 to 80 Gripen aircraft. At the same time, there has been pressure from the United States. Some American officials have warned that reducing Canada's F-35 purchase too much could affect cooperation within NORAD, the joint air defense organization that protects North American airspace. These comments show how aircraft purchases can influence international relationships. Fighter jet decisions are not only about technology or price. They also affect military partnerships, security agreements, and long-term strategic planning. In this situation, Carney's decision to approve additional payments appears carefully balanced. It allows Canada to remain part of the F-35 program without fully committing to the final fleet size. The broader conversation now goes beyond fighter jets alone. Canada is also expanding its role in surveillance and command aircraft through Bombardier's Global Eye program. By producing advanced airborne radar platforms, Canada offers NATO countries an alternative to traditional systems. If the country eventually combines fighter purchases with these domestically integrated surveillance aircraft, its role inside the alliance could grow significantly. Instead of simply buying equipment from abroad, Canada could become a builder of key military capabilities used by NATO partners. This possibility raises several important questions for the future. Will Canada move forward with the full purchase of 88 F-35 fighters? Will it adopt a mixed fleet that includes the Gripen? Or will the country move toward deeper international partnerships that reduce reliance on any single supplier? Another question involves the Global Eye aircraft itself. With radar capable of monitoring vast areas of airspace, it could influence how NATO plans surveillance coverage and coordinates air operations in the years ahead. If Canada becomes both a buyer of advanced fighters and producer of high-tech surveillance aircraft, it could gain a stronger voice in alliance decisions. As these developments continue, Canada's role in the global aerospace and defense industry may expand further. The choices made today about aircraft production and procurement could shape the country's strategic position for decades to come.